Hey folks, Papa Boris here, playing some more leaders. We're up against Boonyao. With middle of the hundreds elo, I go first. And, well, we got two great picks here, the Claw Launcher and the Wanderer. And of these, I do prefer the Claw Launcher because with the Claw, you just have a lot more flexibility and you can checkmate the enemy leader with your active ability. To me, that's something I value very highly. And I could, put it here to try to stop the leader from going that way. Or just leave it here and then pull it up to my leader later. You can put it on the edge. I always like putting things on the edge for some reason. Then if the opponent puts things on the edge, then you can claw up to it. I think probably any place to put the claw is fine. We'll stick it over here for now. And then my opponent is going to get a pretty good draft at bare minimum. They get a Wanderer and an Acrobat. What is up with this? I don't think I want to see their cursor. They get the Wanderer and the Acrobat, two very explosive characters. So could be a strong start for us both. It's likely that one of the top decks coming out is going to be something good for me as well, but you never know. Sometimes a Nemesis and a Protector pops out, and then, you're going to have a heck of a game. So let's see how this goes. Okay, my opponent takes the Wanderer, and there's a bit of a brick. Bit of a brick adjacent character there, the Archer. So after the Acrobat gets taken, I am really looking at this. Oh boy, well we got a good one, folks. We got a pretty good one there. So I'm not gonna play passively. I'm not gonna try to stop the Wanderer from jumping in. We'll just take the leader, move it up. This stops. This actually, okay. What it stops is the Acrobat could have flown in here, and then the Acrobat could have jumped twice. It's not likely that was ever going to happen because I could have stopped the Wanderer from spawning here. Well, this actually also stops the Wanderer from spawning there. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. So let's move the Claw. I'm going to move it up this way. The reason is that if things do get hairy, I kind of want the Claw on the edge of the board so that I can step my leader back and yoink it to safety. And then, of course, we are going to take the Royal Guard. And I could try to do something to stop the Wanderer from flying in. Like if I put it here, the Wanderer can't go here. But I'm fine with it. If my opponent wants to just fly the Wanderer back in randomly, that is fine with me. All right, my opponent's going to get a Rider here, so the Acrobat gets to jump in pretty close to my leader, and then the Wanderer gets pretty close to my leader. So, it's a game. It's definitely a game here. I'm very curious where they're going to position the Rider. So what's the move look like here? You jump with the Acrobat, you fly in with the Wanderer, and the Rider goes where? Here maybe to go in this way. I might end up using my Royal Guard not super aggressively, just blocking the likely path that the Rider could take with 2 steps would be the idea there. So I'm very curious to see where Boonyao puts the Rider. Of course, my leader is sort of out in the open here. The Rider goes there. Okay, I got a Bruiser, which is pretty nice. I could consider taking the Archer. That would be a tad aggressive, I think. I'm not sure that I can really justify that. So we'll take a pretty obvious line. I'll move my leader away from checkmate. Oh, man, am I going to be a moron? Maybe I'll be a moron today. Okay, if I put my leader, ignoring my leader movement, right, I can summon my Royal Guard here, move it here. The issue is then that the Acrobat can jump over the Royal Guard. So I could, instead of clawing up to the Acrobat, pull the Acrobat away from my leader. But if I'm going to pull the Acrobat away from my leader, why not just move my leader here and put the Royal Guard there? Really block the Rider. It has to kind of go laterally, and I'm next to his leader. Sure, let's try it. Let's try it. We'll yoink up the Acrobat for my own protection instead of putting up the Claw to be. I mean, I could put the Claw there. Actually, I could. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. Okay, so I could put the Claw here and put my Royal Guard there, and I move my leader here, and I'm technically safe. Technically, the enemy leader could step back and doesn't get checkmated or anything like that, and my leader is just out in the Wild West here. Oh my God, can I actually get away with that line? I don't know if I can do that. Well, you know what, we're gonna do it, folks. God, this is just absolute insanity, but we're gonna try it. I think part of it is because I had that 30-minute game that just took for frickin' ever. And I'm just like, you know what? Let's let it be over quick. I could still pull the acrobat in here. I could pull the acrobat in, but let's pull my claw master up. Whoop. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. Thank God for undo. Jesus Christ. No, I want to bring up. I want to bring myself. Yeah, I want to jump to the acrobat. And now the acrobat can touch me, but no one else can. And for my character, you could take the archer, but this game is going so fast. I just want the bruiser, and I kind of want the bruiser for defense. I want to be able to push pieces away. So I'm going to do it here. The reason for this is it doesn't really matter too much where it goes as far as how many turns it takes to get to the enemy leader. And I want to be able to push the Wanderer away if the Wanderer goes to this square. Now, the Wanderer can, of course, still go to this square. Oh my gosh, my opponent could take the Nemesis here. I mean, the Acrobat and the Wanderer are closing in. So, you know, there is a case to be made. If my leader can't move, right? My leader can't move, then they get there in like 2 turns. So, you know, it's a consideration for sure. So yeah, oh my god, is my opponent going to take the Nemesis? They could. It's takeable here, I think. Oh my god, my opponent takes the Nemesis! I respect it! I respect it a lot. Alright, so now I have to be very careful because this rider can actually ride here for checkmate. And of course the Wanderer is threatening to come in for checkmate. So I'm actually, this might be it. This might be my first loss ever to a Nemesis. Now the Royal Guard can't really block the Nemesis because the Nemesis can walk around it. The Nemesis can get here no matter what. So how actually do I stop the checkmate? Oh my god. I didn't play around the Nemesis. Because if the Nemesis can stand here, or it can stand here no matter what, then my leader... Oh, gee, okay, I gotta make sure to give this person a red thumb. There's a amount of time that we have to spend on our moves. Asswagon. Anyways, if the Nemesis is here, then my leader cannot touch that square. But if my leader goes here, then the Acrobat and the Wanderer just simply give checkmate. There's no putting the Royal Guard back here to block it because the Acrobat can jump over it. So I could be wrong, but I think the only way I even survive like another turn is if I put my leader here. And then the Nemesis moves to this spot, which again, I could not stop in any way. You know, there was actually another way. I could have moved in. I could have moved into the Nemesis. Oh, maybe that was actually the correct way to do it. Then the Nemesis is touching me, but the Wanderer can't. Oh, I think I missed the best play. Because that way I could have actually avoided summoning my Royal Guard back, although then the Rider could have come in. Anyway, the way it has to work is that now I need to summon my Royal Guard here, and then just leave it there, and then put my Bruiser here to stop the Wanderer from touching my leader. And then where I put the claw, I think, is going to be very, very important because I could, like, move it up and then try to steal the Nemesis, or I could put it over here and try to maybe pull my leader. The problem is that the Nemesis can still touch my leader after I pull it here, so if there's any of his pieces touching this spot, I think I have to go for that, though. Otherwise, I don't think that pulling the Nemesis to that square does enough. All right, now as far as my last piece goes, well, I have to take the Vizier. There's just no question about that. I need to take it because I need my leader to be able to move an extra square to run from the Nemesis if need be. And so we have a Rider, an Acrobat, and a Wanderer all chasing me, which is just absolute insanity. So credit to Bunyao. The Nemesis pick, I think, is valid, and also I probably should not... I mean, the Nemesis wasn't there, but I probably should have pulled the Acrobat away instead of pulling the claw up to the Acrobat, because that didn't end up actually accomplishing anything, and now I've missed the opportunity to pull the Acrobat off of my leader. So I'm guessing now the Acrobat goes here, and the Rider just shoots up. This makes it hard for my royal guard to move. Although, if the acrobat's here and the rider's here, I actually could still pull my leader over. Then the Nemesis isn't able to go here because the rider is there. So there is a certain workability to it. Like, I summon the royal guard, and then I pull my leader here. The issue is if I pull the leader here, okay, forget the Nemesis, right? I mean, the rider can just go here and the acrobat moves up. It's kind of hard to see how I... oh, no, I still get to move my leader afterwards. Okay, so, like, I pull my leader here, the Nemesis moves there, and then I use my Vizier to move the leader again. And then the Nemesis still gives chase, but then I'm far away from the acrobat. But the acrobat can jump over the rider and, you know, still make some shenanigans happen. Okay, if I'm not doing that, then what's the plan exactly? How do I do this? I can't move through the square, so I have to move the bruiser first. Move the royal guard, move the bruiser, move my leader here. Acrobat can't jump to touch my leader. Okay, I'm gonna try it. This could be totally wrong, but I think if I just simply do this, and then this, I survive, and then my claw still gets to move. Now, the Nemesis gets to move here, but this might actually hurt my opponent more than it helps him, because then his piece kind of forms part of my wall, right? And that actually could work in my favor. Basically, what I'm trying to do is establish safety from these three very strong characters, and then if I can get to a point where my leader doesn't have to move to avoid dying, then I can start to advance because his Nemesis is a dead piece. But I have to, of course, get to that point first. Admittedly, I was very lucky to top deck the Vizier. Without the ability to move my leader 2 spaces, I would have been in one heck of a pickle here. Like, if I was here, the Nemesis is still touching me, and then the acrobat jumps over for the win. And I probably would have lost in that case. So yeah, my opponent was pretty close to winning with the Nemesis. Just unfortunately for him, I got probably the best top deck I could have possibly gotten. Then again, he top decked the Nemesis, so, you know, it's part of the charm. Part of the charm of the drafting aspect of this game is that all kinds of kooky stuff can happen. Now, don't forget the Wanderer here, who can also fly in, but my hope is that the Wanderer flying in, then the Wanderer is the only piece that's threatening me. So now I have to be very careful with the acrobat's jumps. I don't want the acrobat jumping here because then the acrobat can move in. So I have to make this very weird move with the Vizier to stop the acrobat from jumping in. And I could also move here with the claw to stop the Wanderer from flying in. But I think that is a little bit passive. What I'm going to do is actually just go here to stop the acrobat from making any forward jumps. And I am going to try to win it this way. It sucks because one of the main ways that, you know, you can be tricky is moving your leader two squares and then summoning the royal guard for the win. But it's hard to do that because if after I move my leader, the Nemesis can touch me and another character is touching me, then I lose the game. So I can't do that. But I think actually because of the Vizier, I'm going to be okay, although without it, I would have lost. Yeah, my opponent sees that this is actually becoming very dangerous now. The acrobat can't jump through. The Nemesis is more of a hindrance than a help. And I can just now focus on trying to beat him. Okay, so this is where the Bruiser really, really shines because I can push the acrobat to a square of my choosing. And I think the square of my choosing is this one. Because the Royal Guard's already here blocking that jump, and the Nemesis is here blocking this jump. So all he has is that jump, which isn't even that good. In fact, I might as well block it. That also stops the rider from moving 2 squares. And so now I'm just going to keep... My Vizier is really out of position. I'm just going to play a slow game here and just move my Vizier closer in. So Acrobat, just make sure it can't kill me. Gotta always watch out for the Acrobat. Yep, no way for that Acrobat to kill me. The Wanderer can touch me, but that's fine. And I'm going to just be looking to try to get in there with the Bruiser for checkmate. Now, of course, I have to remember his leader can walk around, but he has to be very careful walking around with his leader because if he gets a little bit out of position, I can just suddenly go whip, whip, and then like get him with the Royal Guard. All right, so he's threatening checkmate, of course, now with the Acrobat, but the Vizier is there in time to stop it, And with the Vizier here, he doesn't have a lethal jump with the Acrobat, so I'm not sure he made the most precise move with the Acrobat going like this. Okay. So what I think I'm going to do now is I think I'm going to go for it. The Vizier goes here. The Acrobat does not have a lethal jump, because the Acrobat, just by math, cannot jump to any of these squares adjacent to my king. The only square the Acrobat could jump to is the square that my king is on. And then what I can do is I can get into this formation. I put the claw here, and then I'm going to shove the rider. I might as well shove it away from my leader. And so now he's in a pickle, because the claw can go here and the bruiser steps in for checkmate. If the king goes here, the bruiser goes here. And if the king goes here, the bruiser can shove the rider, so he can't actually hide. As far as I can tell, there isn't a way for him to jump next to my leader. And this one's just over. If my Royal Guard were positioned differently, then I could have moved up here with my leader and summoned the Royal Guard and won. But unfortunately, the Royal Guard was in the way, so I had to move the Royal Guard first, and when the king moves, the Royal Guard has already moved. Wow, so good game, Bunyao. That was a tough one. I did have to top deck to beat this 149 elo player. So credit to him for almost making it happen with the Nemesis. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and or subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.